Welcome to Tasker Arena. It's time for Hobbs Eagle basketball at the Hobbs Holiday Tournament. Ty friend Ron Gunner and Tiffany Stuber tonight as the Hobbs Eagles play for the 5th place trophy, taking on Cleveland, the Storm out of Rio Rancho. We just got done with the Hobbs Lady Eagles in their championship game, unfortunately losing 68-61 to Laredo United High School. So they took the 2nd place, and this one is kind of a grudge match going on here between these two teams that played last year in the Hobbs Holiday Tournament Championship, one that the Eagles won. So Cleveland would like to return the favor. The Cleveland Storm, Ron, were upset in the first game against Artesia, but came back last night winning by 30 points on Farmington, 79-49. Of course, the Hobbs Eagles getting a 10-point win on Ferris High School out of Texas. So both teams with one win, one loss, and they don't want to leave with two.
Exactly. You know, of course, these teams have not faced each other too often. Cleveland's a fairly new team or new school, but the last time they faced them, they beat them, so they've got a 2-game winning streak going on against them. But they do have 2 losses against them in this holiday tournament, where they had a couple years back-to-back where Cleveland just beat them up on the championship game. So it's an even kind of thing, but we're looking at Cleveland. They struggled against Artesia. We're hoping that team will show up for this game.
And for those of you waiting for the feed on YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com, it should be up now, we've been told, so double check that. If anybody knows me, you can send me a text if it's not up yet. We're hoping that'll be ready to go. Hobbs against Cleveland, of course. Hobbs getting a 6-4 record coming in, and definitely would like to add on to what they did last night with that victory over Ferris High School, 66-56. Actually, the lead was even bigger than that, 18 as they were into the 4th quarter, but let Ferris get back into it just a bit. But regardless, the Eagles getting 18 points from Abraham Pena. He nailed 3 3-pointers in the game, went 3 for 4 from the charity stripe. Again, one of the starting sophomores for the Eagles. He's definitely a big thumbs up as this team will compete for years to come with his great shooting from the outside. Braylon Vega, the freshman, 4, make it 5 3-pointers in that game last night. All of his shots from Trey that went through for 15. So those two guys combining, Pena and Vega, for 33 of the Hobbs Eagles' 66 points. Ron, that's exactly 50% of the scoring with a sophomore and a freshman stepping up big.
Exactly, and that's what you like to see is, you know, sometimes it's about Michael Mackey, sometimes he doesn't score, so you got to get somebody else to make those points for you because they're not going to make themselves, and you like to see a lot more action, a lot more points from the team as they go.
Again, you mentioned Mackey only had 6 points, but got quite a few free throws in the second half. He went 4 of 6 from the charity stripe for 6 points. Peyton Hodge returned in the uniform for the Hobbs Eagles, been off for about 2 weeks or so. He had 7 points coming off the bench, including a tray in the ball game. We saw Jordan Chisholm return as well, one of the post players for the Eagles. He ended up with 6 points and 2 rebounds, so good to see those guys back in uniform. Of course, Ethan Van Landingham went down with a shoulder injury and had to exit the ball game. We'll try to see what his status is in this game as well. A couple other guys that stepped up. Caden Hall, 8 points and 8 rebounds. He was close to a double-double in the game, also went 2 of 3 on the line. You start to see his confidence building and building. He's not a very bulky kid. He's got some size on him, but he's starting to get more physical, which is very important.
Exactly, and you know, especially with the factor of we don't know whether Van Landingham is going to be out here or not. I didn't actually look to see if he was participating in the practice or not. But without Van Landingham and his strength and his physical presence, you got to have somebody else coming in to do the same thing.
And, of course, Coach Reeves is trying to get the chemistry going there. A lot of guys have been out for about 4 or 5 guys, have been injured, sick, etc. So trying to get that combination going is going to be an important factor here in the next couple of weeks. Of course, they got the big Albuquerque Metro tournament next week, and we'll talk about that later on the game tonight. Hobbs shot 9 of 18 from the charity stripe for 50% in the game, but hit 9 3-pointers in the ball game. So that's a big number there out from the outside. We also mentioned those trays from Vega and Pena in that game last night. Eagles out-rebounded Ferris 29-24, so +5 there. But the one thing that was kind of poking out like a sore thumb was the turnovers. Hobbs had 20, Ferris only 11, but I guess if you get a 10-point win, you're going to throw out some of those stats and worry about it later.
Exactly, and you know, sometimes stats don't add up except for the one that really counts the most. That is the score. And I think we got to change it. I just got a notification that we got to change that Turbiotis is over, going to be coming in, and I was told Vega, but I think it's actually, well, no, actually Hall comes in, so it was Vega. Sorry, I got the wrong one.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Vega was going to be on the. I got this from Jason Farmer, that he said that the Tribbiatis was going to be in, Vega was going to be out as far as starting.
Okay, they made a change in the starters. Okay,
yes.
That's what you were saying. Thank you. Okay. Anyway, the Hobbs Eagles looking at the starting rotation: Michael Mackey, Abraham Pena, Brian Acosta, and you said Tribbiatis?
Tribbiatis.
Okay, Tribbiatis will be on the court. Well, hopefully they'll line up that way here in just a minute. We should mention Michael Mackey leads the team in scoring at the tournament. He's averaging 16.5 points a game. He started off with 27 in that first contest with Oregon Mountain, had 6 last night. 16 for Abraham Pena, 14 in game 1, 18 last night for game 2, and is 9 of 12 on the charity stripe. National Anthem starting. We'll be back in 90 seconds. HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and Cool 95.7. Welcome back to Task Arena. Hobbs Eagles playing Cleveland for 5th place in the Hobbs Holiday Tournament, the 63rd annual. We talked about the Eagles and how they got to this game here tonight, but let's talk about Cleveland in terms of their performance last night. 79-49 over Farmington. In terms of scoring in this game, double-digit production by Daniel Steverson. He had 20 points, was perfect on the charity stripe, 10 of 10. Remy Albrecht finished up with 10 points for the Cleveland Storm. So those two guys combining for 30. They shot 15 of 21 from the charity stripe. Cleveland had 8 three-pointers in the ball game, and that included some good shooting from Sandoval. Isaiah Sandoval ended up with 2 of those three-pointers. Steverson had 2, Ortiz 2, and Trujillo and Albrecht also finishing with 1 apiece. So Hobbs will definitely have to get a hand in the face of the Cleveland Storm. Their big quarter last night against Farmington was 22-9 in the second, and that pretty much drove the rest of the game. They also outscored Farmington 27-12 in the fourth quarter. The first game of the tournament back on Wednesday, the Storm lost a heartbreaker to Artesia. Artesia went on to go to the championship, which they lost today to Oregon Mountain, but Artesia beat Cleveland 62-57. And for the Cleveland Storm in that contest, their terms of point production for the game, Nick Trujillo finished up with 10 points, Albrecht with 8, but the big score was Daniel Steverson. He had 25 points and it was 9 of 10 from the line. So he has had 2 games of 10 free throw attempts, has only missed 1 free throw in those 2 games. Steverson is the go-to guy for the Cleveland Storm.
And we need him on the line, definitely making those shots, because points are going to be at a premium in this one. You know, both sides are going to be strong. It's going to be, I wouldn't be surprised to see a very low-scoring game, especially in the first half. As they adjust in the second half, maybe different. But right now, we're looking to see if we can just go starting and hit the ground running.
Before the timeout, we talked about Michael Mackey with 16.5 points average here at the tournament. His high was 27. Abraham Pena was 16 points. His high was 18 last night. Those are the 2 that are in double digits, although Braylon Vega is averaging 9 at the tournament. For the Cleveland Storm, the leader, Daniel Steverson, 22.5 points a game here at the tourney, 25 and 20 in the 2 games, and 10 for Josiah Ortiz. And for the Hobbs Eagles, jumping up to start this game will be Jairus Turbiatis, and they're just going to pretty much give up the jump because Cleveland has put a real short kid out there, Remy Albrecht, giving up about 6 inches to Turbiatis, who gets a tip into the backcourt. Mackey gets double-teamed quickly, lost the ball through his legs at the timeline. We got another tie-up. I don't think anybody ever had possession, so I think they're going to go back to the jump. I'm going to see if they even had the arrow set on this because basically it was going through the legs of Mackey, so he really didn't have possession. The referees are talking about it right now.
And, yeah, they're pretty much discussing what you just said, that there was no possession, so that should be another jump ball.
Cleveland Storm come in with an 8-2 record. Of course, we mentioned they were in the championship game last year with the Hobbs Eagles for this Hobbs Holiday Tournament. One that the Hobbs Eagles won 77-53, a 24-point winner in that one. Michael Mackey in that game had 6 points, led with assists with 5, and had the team lead with steals as well with 4. So he was doing a lot of stat work for the Hobbs Eagles. Aaron Mora had 22, Jalen Gore 18 in that game for the victory. David Steverson was 17 and 7 rebounds for Cleveland in the championship last year. Ortiz was 7, Trujillo 4, and Albrecht with 3. Re-jump going on as we mentioned, and it'll be tipped into the backcourt this time for the Storm. Pulling it down is Isaiah Sandoval. He loads the ball to the guard, the original jumper, Albrecht. And back deep to the top of the arc to Noah Padilla. Padilla sends it off to the left wing. Jab step coming from Sandoval and returns it back deep. Driving around the right circle, Trujillo. Bounces it back deep, top of the arc to Padilla. Barreling into the defenders. Kick out left wing to Albrecht. Fires up a 3, an air ball. And it's going to be tipped on the baseline. Cleveland picks it up. A shot on the way. Missed off the back of the rim for Schufelt. And it's now loose on the floor, but tipped back out to Albrecht to reset. Stolen at the timeline, driving the other side is Acosta with the lefty layup and scores. Acosta with the first bucket of the game, the first turnover for the Storm.
Nice pickpocket action as well.
Bounce across the timeline for Cleveland to Sandoval. Dumps it to the left corner to Schufelt. Back to Sandoval on the left wing. Reset top of the arc to Padilla. To the right elbow, a pivot. Fumbling it as Schufelt recovers, gets it down to the right baseline to Trujillo, is forced out. No, they're going to say he stepped in the line before the foul, and that'll be another Storm turnover. So they're having some issues on their first 2 possessions, both giving the ball back to the Eagles.
Eagles fans loving that so far.
Mackey, Vega, Pena, Acosta, and Hall, the starters for Cleveland. It's Trujillo, Padilla, Sandoval, Albrecht, and Schufelt for the Storm. And a change up in their roster. We had a bunch of numbers wrong. We had to rechange there. Top of the arc for the Eagles, Acosta on the right wing now. Hands it off to Pena. Drives to the middle of the free throw line. Throws up a shot. It bounces around the rim and good. Count it for Pena. And the foul. So the Storm giving up 4 points early here in the first quarter. That'll be the first team foul on Cleveland as they call that one against Albrecht, his first.
Hobbs being physical so far. They need to be that way too if they want to win this game. Early on, they're doing a really good job.
Pena's 75% on the line for the tournament. 9 of 12, and he nails the free throw. He's got 3 points. Pena came in as the season's free throw shooting at 71%. 100% right now.
Lost handle of the ball, had to get it back.
1-2-2 trap, full court for the Hobbs Eagle defense. Bunch of passing going on. Cross court left to Albrecht. Throws it back deep to Padilla and sends it across the timeline to the right wing to Sandoval. Gets double teamed. Ball loose at the timeline. Picked up by Padilla. Now in the front court. And we got a whistle on the sideline. A man stepping on the line. Another Cleveland turnover. 3 in a row. Have not got a good shot at the basket yet. And it looks like Coach Jimenez is going to bring in a sub to get things calmed down just a bit. And that's going to be Josiah Ortiz stepping on, giving us some size out there. 5-0 count right now. The Eagles up by 5. 3 for Pena, 1 for Acosta. Pena with the handoff, gets stripped away near the timeline, taken by Ortiz, and he tries to go to the rack with it, knocked to the floor. Ball hits off the back of the rim, but he'll get 2 free throws. So the substitute comes in and gets some damage on the Eagles now. Hobbs with their first turnover of the ball game. They'll get the foul call against the Eagles. That was Acosta's first and the first team foul. So Josiah Ortiz will step up. His first time to be on the line tonight. He's 0 for 1 for the tournament. And this one's going to knock off the rim and go in at the last second there off the back of the iron. So Ortiz with his first point of the ball game. He came into the tournament for the season 80% on the stripe. Second one bounced around as well. He gets the drop through the net for the point. 5-2, Hobbs by 3, 6:08 left first quarter, 5th place game in the Hobbs All-Day Tournament. Payne in the front court, handing it off on the left wing to Acosta, up top of the circle, sliding right off the dribble through his legs now. Goes back to the timeline, zigzag, tucks it under his bicep, throws it right corner to Turbiatis. To the free throw line to Pena, fadeaway J is a swish. Pena perfect from the shots. He's 5 points in the books now, 7-2 Eagles, 5:40 left first quarter. Trap pressure defense coming across the timeline is Ortiz. Sends it left corner, wide open is Albrecht for 3, an air ball. Loose on the baseline, pulled down by Schupfeld. Goes up strong on the right block with 2 hands off the glass and count it. Schupfeld with his first bucket of the game, 7-4. Hobbs by 3. Taking
first one for Cleveland, too.
Coming across the timeline is Pena with the dribble to the right wing. Wait for somebody to rotate to him. Gets a screen from Hall. Sends it to the left wing. Dribbling through his legs is Acosta. Top of the circle, 5:11 remaining here in the first. Hand off to Pena on the right wing. NBA 3 out the back of the rim, no good. Rebound on the far sideline by Trujillo, his first. Sends it up the court to the right corner to Padilla. Almost stepped on the sideline. Gives it back to Trujillo on the right side. Hippity hop down the lane. High arching layup on the right side, no good. Pulled down to the baseline by Caden Hall for the Eagles. He had 8 rebounds last night. Up ahead to Mackey on the right wing front court. Going to slow it down just a bit to get the rotation. Back deep to Pena at the timeline. Hobbs by 3, 7-4. Hippity hop dribble to the right wing for Pena. Screen from Hall. Up top to Turbiatis with the pivot. Goes back door, but overthrows teammate Acosta on the left baseline, out of bounds for the Eagles' second turnover. Almost hit Coach Jimenez right in the chest.
Well, Acosta was not quite in position that they wanted to be, so even if he would have gotten a shot, he would not have been able, or at least the pass, he would not have been able to get that shot.
Rolled underneath the hoop that time, wasn't even looking back for the basketball. Come across the timeline to Sandoval on the left wing, stop and go, double team. Pena kicks it out from behind with his fist and rolls out on the baseline. So we'll be Cleveland ball on the right base. Cleveland Storm last year did make the playoffs with a subpar record, 13-16. They were 5th in the district, but they had a strength of schedule of 19.7, so that got them into the playoffs, but they lost to Los Lunas 59-53. It downs to the top of the arc for Ortiz, drives the left elbow, fadeaway J's, a swish. Backing off for just a minute was Hodge, who just checked in, so Ortiz now with 4 points coming off the bench. 7-6, Hobbs by 1. Hodge in the front court. Over to left wing to Vega. Vega going to drive baseline left. Turns around, fires a shot off the rim, rolls around and comes off the back of the iron, but chased down by Hall on the far sideline, his second rebound. Tries to spin and go back to the hole with it and is fouled before he gets to the left side of the lane. Hold foul from behind by Ortiz, his first, second Storm team foul. What is it, their 6th appearance here at the tournament, Ron?
It is, and in fact they've had, actually 7, they've had 6 in a row.
So Cleveland last year, of course, in the championship game with the Eagles, Hobbs winning by double digits. Hodge with the basketball on the inbound right wing, bounce pass in the paint, stripped away, steal, pulled down by Cleveland. That was Daniel Mustagan, and that'll be the 3rd Eagle turnover. Pass down the lane, and a one-hand shot coming off from Nick Trujillo off the back of the rim. Rebound for the Eagles by Chris Archibek, who just checked in. Namaki dribbles down to the free throw line, and we got a whistle at the baseline. The referee's pointing. What the heck was he calling there? Oh, they had a timeout. Yeah, Coach Reeves wanted a timeout, and putting on the brakes, you could hear the screeching of the sneakers there of Mackey. Not sure what was going on either, but timeout call for Coach Reeves. We'll take a quick 30-second break. Hobbs up 7-6 over Cleveland. Come back with us on the Hobbs Eagle Network. 3:26 left, first quarter here in the fifth place game of the Hobbs Holiday Tournament. Hobbs 7, Cleveland 6. Hobbs basketball after the timeout, right baseline underneath the hoop, Vega. Hobbs going left to right on the radio dial, inbound to Hodge, left corner. Kicks it down left corner again to Vega right behind him, and he fires up a three and puts it through the net. Vega on fire like he was last night. Of course, Vega had 5 3-pointers in the game with that win over Ferris High School. Reach foul for the Eagles on the full court, trap pressure going on. They called the reach on the Eagles against Michael Mackey, his first, second team foul. Inbounding on the far right sideline will be Ortiz. Gets it back deep to Trujillo. Quick dribble into the front court. Guarded by Mackey, uses up his dribble, bounce pass, top of the circle to Schufelt. He's going to drive to the rim right side, goes back door. Little shuffle step by Elijah McNeil, who just checked in. Thought it might be a travel. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt for the layup and the bucket. 10-8, a 2-point lead. Now official timeout. Looks like a Hobbs Eagle might have got hit in the head. Little blood coming out there from Chris Archibald, so they're going to stop the game, let him exit. And coming on the court for the first time tonight, Jordan Chisholm. He returned after sitting out a game or two with an injury. I believe he had an ankle problem in practice. But he was back last night. Kind of a quiet night for him in that game, but Chisholm did get 6 points and 2 rebounds. Of course, still Omar Argod has not been back on the roster for a couple of games now. And, of course, we saw the injury last night with Van Landingham. So Hobbs been dealing with a lot of physical issues the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, but they're young players. They can bounce back. That's the good thing.
Mackey inbound to Hodge at the timeline. Crosses over through 2 defenders. Throws it to Mackey in the right corner. Has to chase it. Who's behind him. And goes out of bounds for the Hobbs Eagles' 4th turnover. 2-point lead for the Eagles. 10-8 over Cleveland. 2:49 left first quarter. Inbound up the near sideline. Catching it and dribbling is Ortiz into the front court. Sails it down to the left corner to Stufeld. Bumps it back to the left corner again to Ortiz. Jump stop, up top to Trio, drives the lane, double clutch, right side of the rim, and puts it over the hole for the bucket. Trujillo with his first score. 10-10 your score, 2:30 left here in the opener. Mackey in the front court. Man-to-man defense for the Storm. Mackey going to take his time on the near sideline. Waits for a screen from Chisholm. Uses up the dribble, pivots, finds Hodge in the left wing. Drives the middle of the paint. Right side reverse layup, fading outside the right block and gets it to go off the glass, does Hodge, his first bucket. Eagles have 4 scores so far, lead by 2, 12-10. Coming across the timeline is Trujillo as he hands it off to Ortiz. Gets a screen up top from Stufeld, doesn't use it. Kick it right to Trujillo. Dumps it down to the right block to Stufeld, drives baseline, leads and shoots to the hook. They call the travel. Little stutter step before shooting over the top of Turbiatis, or making Hodge that time. That's Cleveland's 4th turnover.
One of the things Cleveland has done in this tournament so far has started off slowly in the first half of the games.
Yeah, they had some trouble with Artesia and ended up losing that by 5 points to start the tournament. Knocked them out of the winner's side of the bracket. Hodge will bring it across, a double screen. Bounce pass to the right corner, jab step, driving baseline is Pena. Lost it in the paint though, it's loose, rolling on the floor. And we got a big rugby scrum on the left block of the, or right block of the lane. And the arrow's gonna go to the Eagles. So they'll keep possession underneath the hoop on the baseline. 2-point Eagle lead. Pena leads with 5 points for the Eagles. Vega 3, Hodge and Acosta both with 2 apiece. And for Cleveland, a bucket apiece for Trujillo, McNeil, and Stufeld.
Taking a substitution in for the Storm.
Checking on the court for Cleveland is A.J. Manning for his first action. On the right base is Vega to inbound. And it looks like now Coach Reeves going to go tit for tat, bringing a sub as well, as Brian Acosta returns for Caden Hall, gets a nice round of applause. Vega once again resets on the baseline, goes backdoor on the inbound. Saving it is Acosta out to the right wing to Hodge. An 18-footer over the rim, no good. Ball gets tipped out of the right baseline. Looked like it was tipped by Manning, and it will go out of bounds off of him, so that will be Hobbs again to recheck from the right baseline. Inbounding will be Vega. 1:30 left first quarter, Hobbs by 2. Vega looking desperately to get it in, has to chuck it back deep. Jumping in the air for Pena, top of the circle. He'll fire up an 18-footer off the front of the rim. Tipped down to the rebound for Trio on the left base. Throws it across the timeline to Manning on the right wing. Had to save it back to Trujillo on the right side of the arc. Backs it out to the timeline. Coming out to guard him is Chisholm. Stop and go. Drives the lane to the rack and scores. Gets pushed in the back. They're going to count that on the continuation, I guess, NBA style there. Basket will be good on the layup. And Chisholm will pick up the foul. Quick first step that time. Got him to the hole. Chisholm has his first personal third team foul.
Yeah, nobody in the lane for him to slow him down or stop him. And that was an easy basket for Cleveland.
That was Trujillo for his 4th point of the ball game. His first free throw attempt coming here. Trujillo shooting 50% on the season, 11 of 22 from the charity stripe. Off the back of the rim hard, gets his own rebound with a double clutch scoop, no good. Hobbs in transition off the rebound. Devon Marquez comes up with it, just subbed in. Goes it down court to the left wing to Acosta. Acosta will slow down the dribble a little bit, trying to spin, gets bumped into by the defense of Albrecht, and then a whistle as they call the reach foul. Charge that one to Josiah Ortiz, his third team foul on the Storm. Hobbs will have it on the far left sideline near the scores table. Tied up at 12, though, with 52 seconds left in the opening quarter. Mackey, Marquez, Pena, Acosta on the court, as well as Jordan Chisholm. Inbound comes to Pena left wing, slings it up top to Acosta. Hand off to Mackey, going from right to left, comes back right side of the lane, tucks it under his bicep, lost the ball, baseline, turns and fires a shot from the right block off the dribble, and scores over the top of Trujillo. Mackey with his first points of the game. 5 scores now for the Eagles, who lead 14-12 with 25 remaining. The pass is deflected out of bounds. Back to Coach Jimenez on the baseline. It will be Cleveland ball. Nice job.
Bounced off of Mackey.
Yeah, Mackey getting right in the passing lane. Nick Trujillo gets the inbound, throws it across the timeline to Sandoval. Drives the left side of the lane, high arching layup off the back of the rim, no good. Loose on the right baseline, pulled down by Stupout, his second. Cross court left, jumping forward is Sandoval on the left wing. Goes hard to the rack, scoop shot hits the bottom of the backboard and pulled down for the Eagles by Chisholm. His first rebound up ahead to Mackey, 3-on-2. Go to Marquez in the left baseline. Kicks it up top to Acosta. Drives the left to the paint, gets stripped, and no shot before the buzzer. So the Hobbs Eagles not taking a look at the clock there. And that will end the first quarter of action, but they do have a 2-point lead over Cleveland, 14-12. You've got the 5th place game in the Hobbs Holiday Tournament on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and Cool 95.7. Back in 30 seconds. Welcome back to Task Arena, the 63rd annual Hobbs Holiday Basketball Tournament featuring the Hobbs Eagles in Cleveland from Rio Rancho. Both teams played in the tournament championship last year. The Eagles winning that one by double digits. They also played a second time in January last year. Hobbs winning by 13 here at home, 94-81. As the Storm will get the ball here to start the second quarter. We'll get you some point updates here in just a second. Nick Trujillo with the ball on the left wing, sends it right side, 3 on the way for Albrecht off the back of the rim. Rebound Trujillo in the paint, throws up a shot, misses off the back iron. Mackey with the board now, near sideline off the dribble. Comes down the lane, 1-2 and up on the right block, fading towards the hoop, counted, and the foul. Mackey with 4 points. Let's get the rundown of the scoring. 5 for Pena, 4 for Mackey after that one, 3 for Vega, 2 apiece for Hodge and Acosta in that first quarter. The foul going to be called on Trujillo, his first 4-team foul. And Mackey's going to the line. Chance for a 3-point play. Shots up and rolling around the rim and good. He's got 5 points. Mitch Mackey averaging 16.5 points at the tournament is the best for the Eagles. 16 for Pena. Ball comes across the timeline to Albrecht. Goes to the rack with a scoop. Misses it. Gets his own rebound underneath the hoop. Kicks it up top to Trujillo. Fakes a three. Good D coming out on him by Jairus Turbiatis. And coming back to get the handoff is Albrecht. Dumps it on the right elbow. Ball loose as Yermillo had it. Down to the right corner to Trujillo. Fadeaway three off the side of the rim. No good. Rebound on the right baseline by Stupelt, his third, and sends it back to the timeline to Albrecht. Josiah Ortiz leads the Storm with 4 points. Pass to the right wing to Trio. Drives the rack. Scoop. No good off the bottom of the rim. And underneath the hoop for the rebound for the Eagles, Caden Hall with his third board. Outlet to the near sideline. Quick Joe for Pena now in the front court. 3-on-2. Touch pass right base to Turbiatis. 10-footer is good. Turbiatis with the J. Eagles now with 6 scores here in this first half. Yeah, he's a pretty good shot for a big man, Ron.
He is. He made that look real easy.
19-12, 7-point lead, the biggest of the game for the Eagles. Pass to the right wing, 3 for Albrecht off the back of the rim, no good. Pulled down by Stufelt. I'm going to say they called a body foul from him on behind, and I think they did get the foul as knocked to the floor was Hall. So Stufelt will pick up his first personal 5th team foul. And that'll give it back to the Eagles. 19-12, Hobbs by 7 with 6:33 left here in the second. Of course, the big tournament next week, the Metro Albuquerque tournament, and we'll be there with all the games for you. We'll talk about that a little bit later. A phantom throw pass coming across the line. Pena thought he was going to get it over to Mackey. Mackey was heading towards the rim, and the ball was going to the near sideline out of bounds. So that will be the 5th Eagle turnover, that one in the front court. Padillo bringing it across the timeline, sends it down to the right corner to Albrecht, drives baseline, windmill layup underneath the hoop from right to left, and is fouled. A lot of times on that windmill, your hand goes underneath the defender, and the defender just gets his hands there, and sometimes it gets the ref's attention. They call the foul on Acosta, his second, 14th foul for the Eagles.
Yeah, it's makes it a little harder for the shot to be made in, so you definitely want to count on that foul if possible.
First shot's a brick off the back of the rim for Albrecht, but he will get one more. Albrecht came into the game shooting 62% and misses the second one off the back of the iron as well. So having some trouble there on the line was Albrecht. Rebound by Mackey, his second. Passes it over to Pena, gets it back to Mackey. Still in the backcourt though off a double team. Tries to thread it through to Turbiatis. Ricochet down to Hall in the left block. He's double teamed. Fadeaway jumper from the block off the back of the rim, no good. Isaiah Sandoval with the rebound for the Storm. Outlet to the far sideline is Albrecht near side now. Bounce pass up top to Padilla. Sends it right wing to Sandoval. Again up top to Padilla. To the right elbow with the pivot is Stufelt. Hippity hop. Pass to Trujillo in the right corner. Back down to the right block to Stufelt. Fumbled it. Disfine Padilla in the left corner. Fadeaway three off the side of the rim. Gets his own rebound though. Goes back up with the left hand off the glass and scores. Padilla now with the bucket. It's 19-14. Hobbs by 5. Mackey in the backcourt. Sends it across the timeline to Pena to the free throw line. Pivoting is Acosta. Kick out to Hall on the right wing. His three is off the back of the iron. A battle for the rebound. Mackey and lost the ball. Couldn't get a grip on it. It goes out on the near sideline in the corner of the backcourt left.
Yeah, since he was the one that touched it last, unfortunately, just could not get the handle on it as it was traveling out of bounds.
19-14, Hobbs by 5 over Cleveland with 5:17 remaining here in the second. 5th place game on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and on the radio, Cool 95.7. The inbound comes deep to the baseline to Sandoval in the backcourt. Sends it to the left wing to Trujillo. Again to Sandoval, right side, Yo-Yo. Comes across the timeline. Down to the right corner, 3 on the way for Hermilio. Bouncing off the rim. They can't get the trays to drop. And Pena brings it down on the right block for the rebound. That's his first. Goes across the court with the dribble, left side. Over to Mackey on the right wing. Gets a screen from Turbiatis, drives the paint, jump stop, fadeaway jumper right inside the free throw line and nails it. Mackey now with 7 points, leading the Eagles in scoring. Pena with 5. And still 4 for Ortiz. Or actually 4 for Trujillo and Ortiz for Cleveland. Hippity hop move down the lane for Brito. Kicks it left corner and a 3 finally drops for Albrecht. His first bucket of the ball game, the first tray for Cleveland. They trail Hobbs though 21-17. There comes Mackey with a double team pressure in the backcourt near sideline. Cross court left to Pena. He gets a double team. Has a man open Vega in the left wing front court. Hands it back to Pena on the far sideline. Double teamed again. Falls to the floor. Triple team against him and is tied up for the jump ball. Luckily the arrow for the Eagles. Cleveland Storm, Ron, starting to trap, double, triple outside that perimeter.
Exactly, and they have definitely been swarming the ball. And it seems like no matter what you do, there's always at least 2 blue or maybe even 3 blue jerseys out there just near the side or inside the ball.
Macchio inbound to Pena near the scores table, far left. Gets a screen from Turbiatis to Turbiatis on the pass in the paint. Turns and fires the shot, misses. Ball hits the rim, tipped up in the air at the free throw line and pulled down by Padilla for his second rebound. Gives it off to far sideline to Albrecht. Drives the paint. Reverse layup left on the windmill and gets a body foul. He actually had two trees on him that time, Acosta and Turbiatis, and Albrecht likes to do that windmill to get underneath the defense and is starting to draw fouls like a magnet.
Yeah, plus, like I said, it reduces your ability to make shots. It makes it harder to do. So, hey, if it works, it's great, but it looks great, but otherwise it makes it harder to make those shots.
The worst part was that's the third foul on Acosta. Albrecht does get his free throw. He's 1 of 3 from the line and has 4 points. Did hit a tray momentarily as well. On the court for the Eagles checking in is Jordan Chisholm. Turbiatis will take a seat. Caden Hall comes back as well. Mackey will stay out there. Pena and Vega. Second shot is up and good. Albrecht gets them both. He's got 5 points. A 2-point game. Hobbs up 21-19. 3:50 left, second quarter over Cleveland. Long pass up the near sideline off the shoulder of Chisholm and chased down by Padilla for the turnover. That's 6 turnovers for the Eagles. Fires a pass across the timeline, right wing to McNeil. Crossover move, uses up the dribble, bounce pass right block to Stupout, knocked away by Pena. Mackey will pick it up. He goes reverse layup left to right and scores off the glass. Mackey now has a total of 7 in the second, 9 overall, and Cleveland with their 6th turnover. Dribbling through his legs is Albrecht in the front court. Stop and go after a screen. Hippity hop down the lane. Reverse layup right. It's tipped in the air by Hall, and they call the foul on Caden Hall. Albrecht continues to go to the rack with it. It's paying dividends. He's going to get a lot more free throws. Hall has just picked up his first personal 6th foul. And once again, it's Albrecht on the line where he's 2 for 4.
And you got to be impressed with him because he's not that tall of a player, but yet he still keeps on driving the lane to get in there. He doesn't make the shots, but he does get the fouls, and now he's starting to make contact with those foul shots.
Yeah, free throws now 3 of 5 from the line. Cleveland is now 5 of 8 from the charity stripe as a team. Albrecht has made 3 of those throws. The second shot off the back of the rim, pulled down underneath by Vega by himself. Sends it over to Pena, but it's deflected off the hands of Trujillo over to the far left sideline. Hobbs basketball right in front of the scores table. Hobbs leading by 3, 23-20 with 3:11 left in the half. Macchio inbound. Far left sideline. Gets it into Pena, but it's deflected first, out of bounds again. Trujillo with some very movement-like hands. I mean, he's kind of mirroring every inbound pass and got a piece of that one. Bouncer into Pena at the time stripe in the front court now. Top of the circle, giving him up some space. He'll throw up a 3. Clinks out the front of the rim and knocks out the foot on the baseline, though, of Albrecht back to the Eagles. And defense backed off of him, and he had a little bit of a gap there to throw up a 3, top of the circle, but just barely clinked the front of the rim.
Well, that usually means they're not really threatened by that shot. And since it didn't go in, I guess they had a good theory going on there.
Eagles have too many players on the court. They didn't get another sub out. Pena's going to have to chase himself off. Devon Marquez will be the inbound man, the sub on the right baseline. Also back on the court is Hodge. Devon waiting for a break here. Hobbs getting pretty good pressure on each of them. That's a 5-second violation, so the Eagles getting their 7th turnover. I think that kind of was a confusion situation with too many men on the court. They got off their focus and cost them a turnover.
Yeah, sometimes 5 seconds don't last very long, and at that point, yeah, Hobbs got that turnover from the 5-second violation. Inbound
to Trujillo. He's going to send it down the near sideline, but overthrows his teammate Elijah McNeil for the 7th turnover for Cleveland, so both teams have coughed it up 7 times.
That looked like a touchdown pass, but unfortunately wasn't caught, so yeah, turnover for the Storm.
Inbound to Hodge in the backcourt. Getting ready for the trap pressure. Fast pass over the far sideline to Pena. Gets it across to Hodge on the right side. To Marquez in the right corner. Back to Hodge. He'll back it out to the timeline. Top of the circle. Sends it back to Marquez on the right wing. Marquez hesitates. Flicks it back to Pena on the right wing. Crossover move to his left hand to the free throw line. Backs out, hands to Hodge, top of the circle. Drives the right side of the lane. Finds Pena open on the right wing. A rainbow 3 off the side of the rim. Gets his own rebound on the baseline side. Up top to Marquez. Swing left. Pena gonna fire a 3, and this one going through the threads. Abraham Pena with his first tray of the ball game. That is the second for the Eagles. Has 8 points. This Pena, 6-point Eagle lead. Driving the lane. for the Storm. Padilla finds Albrecht up top for three off the back of the rim. Hall with a wicked rebound and nice 360 spin with the ball. His fourth board. Clock to 2 minutes left in the half. Eagles by 6. Marquez gets the pass up top, sends it right to Hodge. Hodge going to go baseline with it on the dribble, double team. Fires it back to Pena, coming down the paint, stripped from behind, a steal. Eagles 8 turnover. They'll send it ahead to a wide open breaking Trujillo for the layup on the right side. He's got 6. 26-22, Eagles by 4. 1:38 left in the half. Is coming across as Marquez, going to be patient with the offense, gives it off to Pena. Just about a couple of steps over the half-court line. Back to Marquez, left wing, to Pena, top of the circle. Swing right to Hodge. Hodge will slide to the top of the arc with the dribble. Backs it up to the timeline. And back to the right side off the dribble.
Yeah, 5-second violation.
Yeah, he had the defender just kind of sliding with him nonchalantly and forgot the count was on. Nick Trujillo doing a good job. He's been doing some tough perimeter defense for Cleveland. And that'll be the Eagles' 9th turnover. Kind of got lulled to sleep on that play.
Yeah, just wasn't moving fast enough for the referee to get stop the count. And before you know it, 5 count, and it's a turnover once again for the Hobbs Eagles.
Now Coach Jimenez having trouble getting his subs off the court, as they almost got themselves a violation for 6 players on. Inbounding on the near sideline is Trujillo. Throws a high one, helium pass to the far sideline. Pulled down by Jaramillo, but it's stolen by Marquez. He goes to the rack with a lefty layup and scores. Devon Marquez coming off the bench for 2, and 8 turnovers for Cleveland. 28-22, Hobbs by 6. Slowing it down to the backcourt is Ortiz. Crossover move now in the front court. Goes left side of the lane, leans and shoots with 2 hands, no good. Pulled down in the left block, and going back up with the lefty for the score is Daniel Mustigan. That's his first bucket and rebound, and a timeout for Coach Reeves. 52 seconds left here in the second quarter. 28-24 Eagles over Cleveland. We're back in 30 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Your Hobbs Eagles lead 28-24 over Cleveland. The team out of Rio Rancho here in the second quarter of the 5th place game of the Hobbs Holiday Tournament. Ty friend Ron Gunner and Tiffany Stuber back at the station. Eagle basketball after a timeout, 52 seconds left of the half. The inbound to Devon Marquez. Devon with the basketball, sends it right side to Pena, cross court left. Kind of a weak throw across court as Lehman tried to come back for it. He just checked in for the Eagles. Knocked out, though, off the hands of Noah Padilla. And we start to see Cleveland just moving closer and closer to the half-court line to get the traps going. Inbound the backcourt to Devon Marquez. Gives off to Pena, right side. Touch pass in the corner right to Vega. One hands it, tries to throw it across court, but it hits the back of the backboard, actually the support pole there, and it'll go out of bounds. That'll be the 10th Eagle turnover, giving the Cleveland Storm the ball with 35 left in the half. The inbound comes to Padilla, going to go one-on-one against Vega through the timeline. Pushes off on Vega, no call. Top of the circle with a jump stop. Unloads to Trujillo on the left wing. Jab step. Doesn't use the screen and backs out to the timeline. Crossover move to the right elbow. Flips it down to the right corner. And return back deep to Albrecht on the right wing. He gets a screen from McNeil. Uses it, come down to the left of the lane. Through 2 defenders. Lost the ball in the air. Got a battle for the ball on the court. Looks like a push by Cleveland. And boy, Albrecht loves to go to the rack with it. That time just went through 2 defenders and couldn't adjust the shot enough, lost control of it. Called the foul on the rebound on Elijah McNeil, his first 16th foul on the Storm. One away from the bonus, but there's only 8.6 seconds left here in the second. Here comes Pena with 5 coming across the timeline to Hall in the right corner. A 3-shot at the buzzer, and that will end the second quarter as it comes out. But the Hobbs Eagles have a 4-point lead over Cleveland here at the half. 28-24. The 5th place game continues with the Hobbs Eagle halftime show in 3 minutes. We're at halftime here at Tasker Arena for the fifth place game of the Hobbs Holiday Tournament, the 63rd annual. Ty friend Ron Gunner and Evie and Tiffany Stuber with you tonight. Your Eagles lead by 4 over Cleveland, 28-24. This game was played last year as the tournament championship game. Of course, the Eagles getting the double-digit win in that one to pick up the trophy in that contest. This year, the Eagles coming in with a number 14th ranking in the state of New Mexico. Of course, they got the win last night. They are 6-4 on the season. Cleveland is the number 11 team in the Max Preps Bowl, at least this week. Of course, that'll change a little bit after the tournaments are wrapping up tonight around the state and possibly a few of them tomorrow as well. So Cleveland's still in the hunt. They came in with a positive record. They were 8-2 before this game tonight, so they're looking for their 9th win, and the Eagles are looking for their 7th. Let's take a look at the numbers in the first half of action. The Eagles leading 28-24. Cleveland yet to have anybody in double digits. Nick Trujillo leads with 6 points. He is 0 for 1 on the line, has 4 rebounds, but he's tied with Remy Albrecht. He has 6 points with a tray and is 3 of 5 from the charity stripe. Trujillo with 4 rebounds, Albrecht with 1. Then it's Josiah Ortiz coming off the bench for 4 points. He has 2 for 2 free throw shooting. And a bucket apiece for Noah Padilla, Elijah McNeil, Stratton Stufelt, and Malachi Yermilio. 12 rebounds in the first half for Cleveland, one better than the Hobbs Eagles at this point. They were 5 of 9 from the charity stripe for 55%. Cleveland had 8 turnovers in the first half. And for your Hobbs Eagles, 1 point away from double digits, Michael Mackey with 9, 1 for 1 on the line with 2 rebounds. Abraham Pena hit a trade, has 8 points with 1 for 1 free throw shooting and a rebound. Braylon Vega hit a tray, has 3 points and 2 boards. And a bucket apiece for Devon Marquez, Peyton Hodge, Brian Acosta, and Jairus Turbiatas. Devon Marquez does have a rebound as well. Caden Hall yet to score, but he leads the team with 4 boards. 2 apiece for Mackey and Vega. Yet Hobbs trailing in the boards, 12-11 to Cleveland. Hobbs has more turnovers right now with 10, again compared to 8 for Cleveland. Eagles have only been on the line twice, and they are 2 for 2, 1 apiece for Mackey and Pena. Hobbs was up 14-12 in the first quarter. They scored 14 in the second compared to 12 for the Cleveland Storm. Hobbs up by 4, 28-24. And if you're Coach Reeves at this point at halftime, pretty close ball game right now. Is there anything specific he can put his finger to keep the Eagles from losing this ball game, but also extending their lead at this point?
Yeah, they need to get back to the press because we've seen some mistakes made, big mistakes from Cleveland early on in this game, and just keep on making them make those mistakes and just keep shooting the shots that they've been making. They've been making some good shots. Meanwhile, although, yeah, it's underneath the paint. That's what they need to work on, stopping Cleveland from having those easy shots, second chances as well, the rebounds, getting those defensive rebounds and getting back the other way for their front court.
I would think Coach Jimenez would like his team to get better select three-point shots. They've been kind of tanking them off, and sometimes they will get a second chance on them, but again, some of those shots are off balance and not really drilling that many of them. In fact, they've only had 1 trade drop so far from Albrecht. He's been the guy that's shot quite a few of them on the outside, but he's also not scared to go to the hole. He likes that reverse layup windmill stuff, and he's been fouled several times and been on the line quite a bit tonight. In fact, a total of 6 times and made 3 of those free throws. So they got to contain him just a little bit more on the defense. Hobbs so far, again, getting some great work on the boards for Caden Hall. He's a good up-and-comer for the Eagles, slashing pretty hard out there. Michael Mackey kind of rebounding from I wouldn't say a slow night last night, but a quiet night last night. He had a lot of free throw opportunities, but tonight he's starting to get more execution. There's been a lot of double and triple teams on him and other players for the Hobbs Eagles from Cleveland so far. We're about 2.5 away from the second half. We'll take a final 2-minute break and come back with the Hobbs Eagles leading Cleveland 28-24. Stay with us here on the Hobbs Eagle Network. moment.
Welcome back.
Go.
Yeah.
We're back live at Tasker Arena. The Hobbs Eagles lead Cleveland 28-24, fifth place game for the Hobbs Holiday Tournament, the 63rd annual. In case you weren't here earlier, Oregon Mountain was the tournament champion. They beat Artesia, close ball game. Boy, those Bulldogs really coming back. They were 0-3 at the Artesia tournament, even got beat by Fort Sumner, and then came up to this tournament, beat Cleveland in the first round, got all the way to the championship game, and a heartbreaking loss for them.
I know, and you know what? Either way, they should be very happy with the way the team performed. They lost it in the end against a strong team, but you know what? Hey, second place is nothing to sneeze at.
Beat Cleveland basketball to start the third quarter. They trail Hobbs by 4, 28-24. Eagles with a zone defense right now. They're just playing the perimeter passing game for Cleveland. Top of the arc is Albrecht. Sends it left, NBA 3 on the way, and a swish put through by Padilla. Padilla with his first tray of the ball game. He's got 5 points. 28-27, Hobbs by 1. Pena comes across the timeline for the Eagles. Guarded by Albrecht. Slides left and back to the right side as he unloads the ball to Acosta. Kicks it up top to Hall. Swing it to the left to Pena. Albrecht putting a hand in his face now. Dumps it to the left block to Turbiatis. Turnaround Jay off the side of the rim, no good. And the rebound for Stupel, that's his 4th. Coming across the timeline, the outlet to Padilla. Spins in the lane and shuffles the pivot foot around as he backed into Hall and gets the travel. Cleveland's 9th turnover of the contest.
Yeah, not a good possession right there.
Again, next week we'll be at the Albuquerque Metro Tournament starting Tuesday night at 5:30. The Eagles will take on West Mesa. That's going to be a tough ball game. West Mesa in the top 6 in the state. One-hand pass over the right wing to Mackey. Up top to Turbiatis. Swinging left to Pena. Pena looking for some rotation on the O. Coming back to get it. Top of the arc is Acosta. Fakes it 3. Hippity-hop. Down to Pena. Left corner. Fadeaway 3 off the back of the rim a couple of times. Tipped up, though, by Mackey on the right block. Almost an alley-oop look there. He's got 11 points and 3 rebounds. 30-27. Eagles by 3. 6:30 left in the third. Albrecht fakes it 3 in the right corner. Goes baseline. Lost the ball, but picked up by his teammate Stupel. Kicks it left wing. 3 on the way, and a swish put through the hole. And putting that in was Ortiz. That's his first tray. He's got 7. Right over the outstretched hands of Mackey on that one. We're tied at 30. Payne in the front court, picks up a double team, gets through it. Over to Costa on the right wing. He tried to pass down to Mackey in the corner right, but he got the ball knocked out of his hands. Double team there. It'll go off against Cleveland. Hobbs basketball, deep right corner of the front court, right side. Still tied at 30. Mackey looking for somebody to get open here. Having some trouble doing it. Finally getting there is Pena in the right corner. Fires it back deep to Acosta to reset. Slides left, gives to Mackey on the left wing. Gets a screen from Turbiatis. Up top to Hall. Hall coming right with it. A handoff to Acosta. Gets bumped into, double team. Back to Hall on the right block. He leans into the hoop, tries to go up with it. They're going to call the hold foul. Lost his balance a little bit, but he's getting pushed. And we got some extracurricular going on. Him and Albrecht went chest to chest there after the play. I don't think the refs saw that, but they bumped themselves each other pretty hard there. Wait to see who they call the foul on. That's going to be charged to Ortiz, his 3rd personal and the first team foul on the Storm here in the second half. He's going to have to take a seat. Coach Jimenez doesn't want him to foul out too early. Costa inbound on the left baseline, gets up top to Pena. Pena backs out, flicks it over to Costa right side, dribbles up top of the circle through his legs. Mackey will come get it from the left. Mackey keeps it outside. Hall gets a screen on the pick and roll. Back over to Pena on the right wing. He's going to drive hard baseline with a head fake. Fires up a J on the fadeaway off the back of the rim from 15. Rebound Mackey on the right base. He gets knocked to the floor as he tried to spin out to the right corner, and the foul called on the Storm. That's Albrecht all over him that time. That's his 2nd. Oh, wait a second. They call the charge. They're going to say he went over the top of the defender that time. Wow. Looked like they got feet tangled up on him. They're going to call that on Mackey, his 2nd first team foul, and that will be the 11th Eagle turnover. Albrecht will get the inbound, drives into the front court, comes down the lane. Reverse layup with 2 hands, no good. Ball gets tipped out and run down by Caden Hall in the left corner, who has just picked up his 5th rebound to lead the Eagles. Up ahead to Pena, left wing, down the lane to Mackey with a finger roll over the front of the iron and scores. Mackey now at 13. 32-30, Hobbs by 2. Into the front court, stop and go, dribbling behind his back, Padilla top of the arc. Gives it over to Trujillo left side and returns to Padilla. Top of the circle, Hall right on top of him. Back over to Trujillo left wing, to the left elbow, pivot for Stufelt. Up top to Padilla, comes down the lane, fade shot from the free throw line, blocked in the air by Mackey, but picked back up by Stufelt. Sends a zinger up top, and Mackey with the steal, 10th Storm turnover. He goes to the rack with the lefty layup, no call, and it comes off the rim. Big rebound for Padilla. Sends it ahead to the left wing to Albrecht. Back to Padilla down the lane. Jump shot from the middle of the paint and puts it off the glass for 2. Padilla with 7. Tied up at 32 with 4:20 remaining. Hodge in the front court. Here in the third quarter. Comes down the lane with a runner shot and throws it over the iron for 2. So Hodge just barely getting off the bench. He's got 4 points. 34-32, Eagles by the deuce. Albrecht with the basketball. Stop and go against Mackey in the front court. Throws it up top to Stufelt. Stufelt tucks and goes to the rack with a double clutch, is fouled. As coming on top was Turbiatis, threw his hands in the air to the official, saying he was up high all the time, but not going to help out his cause. Turbiatis' first personal, second team foul.
Yeah, it did not help, but it is going to get him on the line at 4 minutes left. Down by 2. Cleveland's going to try to see if they can get back into the tie this game again.
First shot is a brick off the back of the rim for Stufelt. He'll get one more.
We're just happy we've got the right names to the right players.
Yeah, they did a big shift on their roster tonight. Stufelt came into the game shooting 50%. Second shot is off the back of the rim, no good. Ball tipped around and Hodge comes down with it on the left block. He'll take the dribble. That's Hodge's first rebound. Comes down the lane, try to pass back door to Turbiatis, trying to go through 2 defenders that time. They're going to call a body foul. Charge that one to Trujillo, his second team foul against Cleveland. 3:52 left, third quarter. Hobbs up by 2, 34-32. Here at Tasker Arena, the 5th place game of the Hobbs All-Day Tournament. Substitute coming in for the Eagles, that is Vega. Checks it back to Pena on the right wing. Almost got a 5-second violation. Gets a screen from Hall, the pick and roll. Double team against Pena. Gets it stripped by Albrecht. The Eagles 12th turnover. Albrecht tries to take it to the rack on the reverse, and it's hammered hard. We got bodies being pushed and shoved, and they call the foul on the Eagles. Looks like Hodge will get it. And a hard shot on Albrecht coming from left to right underneath the hoop, and they had to clear bodies away from each other after that one.
Yeah, that didn't look very good on either side, but yeah, it's definitely going to be clear the court and calm the heads of both sides of the players.
Hodge will pick up the foul, his first. Whether or not this is going to be an intentional or violent foul there, regardless. Third team foul on the Eagles. The referees are having a conference, as you mentioned, Ron. Both teams are in huddles right now. Hobbs at the midcourt, and looks like Coach Jimenez out on the court talking to his troops, and Coach Reeves just let his team have their own discussion in half court. Referees are pointing and talking and discussing, and definitely going to be a foul call. There's no question. The big question right now is whether they're going to bump it up to a intentional, and that would be a hard foul, which would be a 2 shots and the ball. We do know Hodge got it, so they will call it on Hodge. That is his third team foul. I'm trying to see what their second call was here, though.
I think they're putting techs on both sides, but yeah, the retaliation from the front court for the Hobbs Eagles, they're putting it on the back court. That was one of the discussions they were probably talking about.
They haven't added a team foul extra for both teams yet, so I'm kind of wondering to see when that's going to happen. They've got Coach Reeves out talking to him now, and Coach Jimenez as well at the other end. Looks like they have put something on the board for Cleveland, their third, and see who they call that tech on. Still not seeing anybody that doesn't have a foul yet that should get one. No, everybody's got. Oh, okay, there they go. They've just added.
No, that was the shot.
Yeah, that
so
was
2 shots.
So Albrecht has got the free throw. He's got 8 points, made both free throws.
And now it's
or
Hobbs'
do they just call 2 techs? Or
I think they did. I think they.
I don't get that, though. It might have been an intentional foul because they couldn't just have 2 techs. There was actually a foul, too. And Coach Jimenez is livid right now. I don't think he likes the explanation he's getting. As they go to the other end, they're going to have Pena shooting 2. So they should have been, if it's 2 techs, they should have those after the original foul because that should have been 4 free throws for Cleveland.
Well, they're shooting the techs first, and then they're going to go for the
I don't think they're going to shoot the other foul there. Second free throw or tech is no good for Abraham Pena, so he gets 9 points. So I don't know
You're
why
right.
they should have had I guess they may have had the foul on Hobbs and then a tech on Cleveland, and then they go to the alternating possession.
Exactly.
So
And they're not into bonus yet.
both teams with 3 fouls. Hobbs basketball at the timeline. Top of the circle is Hodge. Gives it off to Vega. Gives back to Hodge. Comes down the lane. Scoop shots rejected from behind. Turbiatis though with the rebound of the free throw, but he pivots and then moves the pivot foot on the travel right at the free throw line. So Turbiatis got a rebound, but also actually a turnover after that for 13 total for the Eagles.
Yeah, bring the house saw that one.
35-34. Hobbs still by 1. Still don't know what was going on with all that technical and foul stuff, so we may have to get a explanation from somebody. Albrecht takes a screen, goes down the lane with a little pivot, throws up a shot on the reverse. No good off the back of the rim. Rebound for Caden Hall in the middle of the paint. Hall with his 6th rebound, leading the Eagles. Gives to Payne in the front court. Top of the circle. Hodge will come back to get it, left to right. He'll back it out to the timeline. 3 minutes left, third quarter. Hobbs by 1. Unloads to Vega on the right wing. Gives to Hall on the right block. Backs into his defender. They're going to call another travel on the Eagles. They're going to say he shifted the pivot foot again. Hall this time, and that's the 14th Eagle turnover. 35-34, Hobbs by 1. Subs are coming in now. Cleveland will send in Josiah Ortiz. Turbiatis will take a seat. Let's see who came in for him. It looks like that's going to be Acosta. Full court pressure, man-to-man for the Eagles in the backcourt. Ball is inbounded off the foot of Padilla. He's able to recover it. Going through 2 defenders, unloads to the timeline, and Trujillo will bring it across with 2:45. Fakes the handoff to Padilla. Backs up to the timeline off the dribble. Stop and go. Comes down the lane, gets stripped from behind. Ball's loose on the baseline, goes out of bounds. I think Pena got a piece of it. And that will be Cleveland possession, as it'll be their ball on the left base. Coach Ray's going to get another sub in here. Michael Mackey returns, comes in for Vega. Mackey with 13 points. Vega with the tray. Still on 1 point Eagle lead. Going to the top of the arc to Ortiz. Dumps it in the paint. Getting rejected in the air is McNeil. Taken away by Mackey. Mackey will come the other way. Lefty left, double clutch. It goes off the rim and is knocked out of bounds on the baseline. Back to the Eagles. Getting a piece of it, it looked like A.J. Manning. Hobbs will have it on the right baseline underneath their hoop. Another sub checks in for Coach Jimenez and the Storm, and that is Daniel Masterson. Marquez comes in for the Eagles, throws it into the left block. Acosta's point-blank shot off the back of the rim, loose at the free throw line, and the Storm gets a hold of it, then a foul called on the Eagles for a reach. Daniel Masterson picking up his 2nd rebound, and the Hobbs Eagles just picked up their 4th foul as they charge that one to Caden Hall, his 2nd.
Yeah, he was in the mix at the time.
4 fouls for the Eagles, 3 for Cleveland. Another sub for Coach Jimenez. On the court is Josiah Ortiz. Coming in for Nick Trujillo, who exits with 6 points. Top scorer so far for the Eagles, Mackey with 13, 9 for Pena. And for Cleveland, 8 for Albrecht, 7 for Ortiz. Inbound to the far sideline. Quick dribble across the timeline is Sandoval. His pass deflected as Hodge gets a piece of it. Sails out on the far left sideline, just in front of the scores table. Cleveland basketball. Ortiz to get it into the left corner. Driving baseline is Sandoval. Puts on the brakes, fade away from the left block, rolling around the back of the rim and falls through. As it counts for 2. Actually, that was McNeil who gets the points. Top of the circle, Marquez, 35-36, Cleveland by 1. Marquez tries to hand off to Acosta, fumbles it, rolls to the near sideline, picked up by Mackey. Crossover move down the lane, gets bumped, throws up the ball anyway with the double clutch and is fouled. Comes off the iron, but he'll get 2 free throws. So Cleveland with their first lead here in the second half. They get the foul call on Padilla. That's his first and the 14th foul on the Storm. They're going to call that on the floor, though. So Hobbs will inbound from the right base by Marquez. They trail by 1 with 1:42 left, third quarter, to the Eagles. Marquez gets it into Hall on the left block, picks up a triple team, pivots, fires up top to Acosta. He's got a 3 on the way. Off the front of the rim, chased down by Mackey in the left corner, his 5th rebound. Fade away from the left elbow or make it the left block, and he gets it to drop through for 2. Mackey with 6 points in the third, 15 overall to lead the Eagles. They lead by 1, 37-36. The inbound in the deep left corner in the backcourt to Ortiz. Cross court right to Trujillo. Actually, that's Padilla. Tries to get by Hodge, and Hodge hammers him as he comes around the right circle. So Hodge will pick up the foul. That's the 15th foul on the Eagles. And Hodge going to get his second team foul, or second individual foul. Left baseline inbound for Padilla as he throws it up top to McNeil. Over the left wing, stalling for a minute is Sandoval. Correction, that is Ortiz. Up top, a high pass. Coming down with it is Albrecht. He backs out to the timeline, returns to the free throw off the dribble, sends it left for a three-shot for Trujillo. Air ball. Ball loose on the near sideline, picked up by Padilla. He gets bodied out of bounds on the baseline. That's his fourth rebound with the foul on the Eagles. Little aggressive activity going on there for the Eagles by Hodge. Back-to-back fouls for him, his third. And the 16th foul, one away from the bonus for Cleveland. 56 seconds left, third quarter, long-lasting third. Hobbs by one. Inbound to the top of the arc to Ortiz. Dribbles left. Pivots, gives it back to Padilla behind him on the left wing. Backs out to the scorer's table against Hall. Uses up his dribble. Bounce pass to the timeline to Albrecht, and running into him is Devon Marquez. Marquez chests him up and picks up his first personal 17th foul. So now Cleveland on the line. Albrecht going to shoot the first free throw, or actually his third attempt here in the third quarter. He is 5 of 5 of 8 for the charity stripe and has 8 points.
Yeah, he missed the first two, got 2, and then missed his third one and fourth one.
So he's made 3 in a row now as he puts that one through. 9 points for him. 37 all. We're tied up here in the third quarter. One more for Albrecht. It's a swish. 10 points for him. It's 38-37 Cleveland. Mackey now with the basketball as he comes across the timeline. Trailing by 1. Comes around the right circle. Gets a screen from Hall. Down the middle of the lane. Shot from the free throw line as he just came across it and puts it through the hole. Mackey, 17, leading the Eagles by 1. 39-38 over Cleveland. 25 seconds left in the third. Albrecht comes across the timeline. Down the right baseline. Pivots. Bounce pass to the right wing. Another pivot by Stufeld. High pass up top to Trujillo. Comes down with it. Sends it left corner to Emilio. Flicks it back to Trujillo in the left corner. Baseline gets bumped. Actually, that was Padilla with the ball. And Caden Hall kind of out of sync there defensively. Just banged into him and then tripped on himself. Fell down on the floor. Actually, no, they call that instead on Mackey. That's his third 18th foul, although Hall did hit the hardwood that time. That's going to put Padilla on the line, yet to shoot a free throw in the ball game. Padilla's at 25% this season, just 1 of 4. Devon Marquez will take a breather. And coming back in the game for the Eagles will be Braylon Vega. 2 shots for Padilla, who's got 7 points. First free throw of the night for him. Going to try to take a lead here if he can make both of them, trailing by 1 of the Eagles. First shot is hard off the back of the rim. Mackey will pull it down on the near sideline, his 6th board. He'll dribble hard down the lane, left side, goes up with a reverse, misses out the back of the iron. Ball's loose, and trying to go up with it on the foul, though, on the rebound. Brian Acosta, he'll get the ball back for the Eagles as they get the foul against Cleveland. That one's going to be charged to Masterson, his first 15th foul. Inbound to Pena is knocked away on the right wing. A shot at the buzzer from the top of the arc at the other end by Nick Trujillo is off the iron, no good. So that'll be the 15th Eagle turnover, but they do have a +1 lead here at the end of the third, 39-38 over the Cleveland Storm. We'll take a 60-second break and come back with the final quarter of the Hobbs Holiday Tournament here at Tasker in the minutes. Welcome back. Fourth quarter action. Get ready here at the fifth place game. Hobbs Holiday Tournament. Task Arena. Ty friend Ron Gunner and Tiffany Stuber with us tonight. Your Eagles led by Michael Mackey, 17 points, 9 for Abraham Pena, and for Cleveland, it's 10 for Albrecht and 7 for Ortiz and Padilla. Eagle basketball to start the fourth as Mackey gets the ball. He does a spin move on the right baseline, tries to head to the rack and is fouled. See if this is going to be a shooting foul or not. That's the 16th foul on Cleveland and the third on Nick Trujillo. That will not be a shooting foul. Hobbs basketball on the left baseline. Devon Marquez to inbound. Bounce it back door to Hall, but knocked out of his hand. Stolen by Trujillo for the Eagles' 16th turnover. Throw it ahead back door to Padilla on the left side of the lane. Goes back again to the right side. Trying to lay it up as McNeil, who's knocked to the floor. Does a semi-somersault there. Was fouled as the ball came off the back of the rim. Charged a foul to Abraham Pena, his first 19th foul. Cleveland one away from the double bonus. And that'll put Elijah McNeil on the line. He's yet to shoot a free throw and has 4 points.
With a game this close, you do not need to put him on the line to give him freebies.
McNeil just 33% from the line this season. So he'll get the 2 free throws. 1 for 2 at the tournament so far, 50%. Clinks out the front of the rim, no good. But he will get 1 more.
Love that wah, wah, wah.
Yep, Taskovich band with the nice sound effects after that one. Hobbs by 1, still 39-38. Second shot hard off the back of the rim, it's no good. And a big scrum pile on the corner, right side of the court. Body's on the floor that time, and they get a whistle call there. See what they've got on that one. Might have been a jump ball.
No, I believe that is a foul.
Yeah, they're going to call a foul. Looks like a push by Cleveland. See who they got that one against. That's going to be Cleveland's 7th. So that will be a 1-on-1 bonus. 7:43 left here in the fourth. Hobbs holding on to a 1-point lead.
As they shoot 1-1 for the bonus.
That was Remy Albrecht's second personal. And puts on the line for the Eagles Pena, who is 1 for 3. Or make it 2 for 3 for 66%. Has 9 points. 1 free throw getting him in the double digits. Try to expand on this 1-point lead and hits off the front of the rim. Ball gets ricocheted around on the baseline, and Hobbs will get it back, coming off the leg of Stratton Stufelt. Eagle basketball on the left side of the baseline. It'll be Marquez to inbound with 7:42 left and a 1-point lead. Finds Pena right corner. Thought about a shot from 18, but he took a big gap step there and moved that pivot foot. Referee right behind him. I think he thought he was behind the 3-point line and realized he wasn't. Still wanted that 3 and extended way too far on the travel. That'll be the Eagles' 17th turnover, and that's going to bring in Hodge for the Eagles as the sub for Pena. Trap pressure, 1-2-1-1 for the Eagles full court. Pena with the basketball through 2 defenders, bounces it across to Albrecht, dumps it to the left corner. Driving to the middle of the paint is McNeil, pivots at the free throw line, and sends it off to the left wing to Albrecht. Albrecht will slide towards the scorer's table on the reverse bounce to the top of the arc, down the lane. Jump stop, pass to the right wing to Padilla for 3 and swishes it. Noah Padilla has his second tray of the game. That's 10 points for him. And it's a 2-point Cleveland lead. 41-39, 7 minutes remaining. In the front court, Pena gets a pass on the right wing. I think Coach Reeves got a timeout call there. Luckily, that was before a travel because we had a big slide after a catch there. I could have given the ball back to Cleveland. 7:04 left, fourth quarter. It's Cleveland 41, your Eagles 39. Come back with us in 30 seconds. You're listening live to Hobbs Eagle Hoops at the Holiday Tournament, Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube. Still here in the fourth quarter, fifth place game of the Hobbs Holiday Tournament. Cleveland leading 41-39. And boy, a big discrepancy with free throws tonight. Cleveland 9 of 18 and the Eagles just 3 of 5. So Cleveland more than triple the amount of opportunities. They get the ball into Mackey. He goes underneath the hoop on the right side, misses out the front of the rim. Pulled down for Cleveland by Stufeld, his fifth board. Pass to Albrecht, left wing, fires up a three and nails it. That's his second tray of the game. He's got 13, so a couple of trays on back-to-back possessions for Cleveland have them up by their biggest lead of 5 in this ball game. Coming down the right side of the lane is Hobbs. They call the offensive foul. There's a flat Cleveland Storm body on the court right now. That might have been Hall trying to set a screen. Yes, he did flatten a Storm player, so Hall picks up his third personal, 10th team foul. Getting off the court right now is Noah Padilla. Actually staying on the court, got off the hardwood and got slammed hard to the floor. And that's going to put Hall on the bench too. Coach Rees gets a sub in, sends in Turbiantes. So the Eagles now with 10 team fouls, which means double bonus for Cleveland the rest of the ball game. The inbound comes down the left side of the lane to Padilla, tries to take it to the rack, gets knocked to the floor. Got bumped into pretty hard that time. Actually, that was Trujillo. Or they not? Maybe they did call the foul on that one. I guess it just got out of bounds. The Hobbs Eagle touched it last, possibly Pena. The inbound to the left corner. Albrecht going to put up an NBA three, but it hits off the back of the rim. Tries to chase his own ball down, and it gets bumped off his shoulder to the baseline. They're going to call it off the Eagles, though. Hodge was in the area on that right base, but they're going to say he was the one that touched it last. Eagles down by 5 with 6:27 remaining in the game. Bounce pass to the paint. To the left block, sit back to the right. Trujillo gets rejected by Mackey from behind. He'll take it to the other end on a 2-on-1. Tries a layup, gets blocked on the left side. Goes back up underneath the hoop on the right and is fouled. So Mackey getting his 7th rebound. Good yeoman work underneath the hoop for Michael Mackey. A foul on the Storm. That one will be charged to Ortiz, his 4th, and that is the 8th team foul. Mackey will get 2 on this one. He's perfect, 1 for 1, but the Eagles have only shot 5 free throws and made 3 of them. 60%, not a lot of opportunities tonight.
No, I'm hoping that Mackey will definitely get more chances on the line. He's shooting very well from the charity stripe.
2 for 2, 18 points now for Mackey on his first make. Abraham Pena second in scoring with 9. Then a big drop-off after that for the rest of the Eagles. Second shot for Mackey, bouncing around the rim and falls off the front, no good. Underneath the hoop for the rebound is Padilla, his 5th board. Hands off to Albrecht, beats the pressure on the dribble into the front court. Sends it to the right wing to Stufeld, to the left wing to Trujillo. Jumps in the air with it, kick up top to Padilla, back to Trujillo on the left wing, back door, underneath the hoop for the reverse layup, and scoring is Jaramillo. Or correction, was that, I think that was Stufeld that puts it through. No, may get it wrong the second time. McNeil with the bucket.
Storm with the timeout, though.
So they lead by 6, 46-40 over the Eagles. We'll keep it right here. And let's get our sponsors, Ron, for Hobbs Eagle basketball this season.
Absolutely. We always want to thank our sponsors. And this time around, it's going to be Lee County State Bank, Hobbs Rental, Forest Tire, Hobbs Express, Robinson & Associates, Thriftway, First American Bank, Lasco, Eunice Pump, NMR Pipeline, along with Rent-A-Center and Devon Energy.
Of course, the Hobbs Eagles will be at another tournament next week. Only 2 teams are invited outside of the metro area from Albuquerque and Rio Rancho for the APS Metro Tournament. That includes the Hobbs Eagles. They will play on Tuesday night to start the tournament at 5:30 p.m. against West Mesa. West Mesa is ranked pretty high in the Max Preps Poll. I believe it's number 6 right now. So they're a tough team, and one of their players broke the career record for scoring for the team just about 2 weeks ago, so he's a big threat. That'll be 5:30 on Tuesday night. We'll have the game 5:15 with the pregame show. Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube. Pena brings it across the timeline. His pass deflected on the right wing, trying to get it to Mackey. Mackey was well ahead of the ball that time, but knocked out. Good hands in the passing lane by Nick Trujillo. We'll cover all those games at the APS Metro Tournament next week. Inbound to Hall, gives it back to Mackey on the right base. Flicks it over to left wing to Hodge, who's wide open for a tray, and he nails it. He got one last night, too, in his first time back in uniform. So Hodge with 7 points. Eagles up, or down by 3, 46-43, here with 5:30 remaining. Cleveland in the lead. Stop and go dribble in the front court for Padilla, coming right with it. Hands it off to Trujillo. Back to Padilla on the right wing. Against Hall. Dangerous throw to the timeline to Albrecht, almost picked off by Pena. Stop and go, crossover for Albrecht through his legs. Right side of the paint, underhands it to Padilla. Over to left wing, grabbing it is McNeil. Back door and waiting for the ball was Padilla with the lefty layup. Coming across the lane to get the ball that time, he's got 12. 48-43, Hobbs down by 5. Mackey in the front court, top of the arc. Underhands it back to Pena. He'll back it up to the timeline. Comes right on the circle, off the dribble, crossover move. Back door to the right block to Bacosta, overthrows him and knocked out by Cleveland. So Hobbs will retain possession off the hands of Padilla.
Almost a duplicate play from just what they did a moment ago, Cleveland-wise. Didn't work out for Hobbs, but they did draw the foul.
Mackey,
no, they didn't.
Mackey will get it on the baseline, inbound Acosta, top of the circle. Back to Mackey in the right corner. Jab step, backs it out with the dribble, finds Acosta again top of the arc. Crossover through his legs now. Gets it back to Mackey. He'll spot up an NBA three from the right wing off the back of the rim. Pulled down on the near sideline by Padilla for his 6th rebound. He's moving towards a double-double tonight. Gives to Albrecht at the time stripe. Dribbles behind his back. Top of the circle, front court. Unloads to Padilla on the right wing. Bounce pass on the right block to Studfeld. Underneath the hoop. Leans and shoots in the right block. No good. Gets his own rebound. Goes back up. Knocked to the floor. Doesn't drop. And then a rebounding foul underneath. And a technical foul's been called too. So foul and a tech both. They'll probably go against the Eagles, although not quite sure who the tech. They're going the other way, it looks like, possibly. Looks like there'll be a foul first on a push. They call that one on Hall. That's his 4th personal, 11th team foul. I thought I saw the refs show a tech on that. I think they called a tech on Hall too. So he got the foul and the tech. That's his 5th.
Yes, that'll get him out of the game.
And he ends with no points but 6 rebounds. 2nd on the team in boards. And now coach having a discussion, Coach Reeves with the referee. On the line to shoot is McNeil. He's 0 for 2, and he swishes it. They're 10 of 19 in the free throw game here for Cleveland. 7 points for Elijah McNeil. Second, now the tech shot for the Storm. First one put in for Albrecht. And the second one's up off the back of the rim, no good. He's got 14. So McNeil has the 7 points in the game right now. Missed the first free throw, got the second. 50-43. Hobbs down by 7 with 4:10 remaining. Inbound to the backcourt. Trujillo brings it across off the dribble, hands it off to Padilla. Back to the timeline against Mackey. Zings back to the right off the dribble. Hands it off to Trujillo. They got to travel as he handed it off. Both players shifting their feet. Good play by Mackey defensively to get between them, but the travel first as Cleveland gives it up for the 11th time tonight. 50-43, Cleveland though by 7. Their biggest lead of the game here in the 4th quarter with just 4:03 remaining. Got to be a little bit of sense of urgency for the Eagles here as the inbound comes to Hodge in the backcourt. Comes across the timeline off the dribble. Gives it off to Mackey on the left wing. Double team against him. Threads it down low to the left block. Going up strong with 2 hands. Laying it in is Chisholm for his first bucket of the game. Quick Hobbs Eagle timeout as they still trail by 5. We'll take a quick 30-second break. Cleveland 50, Hobbs 45. 3:49 left in the 4th. Back in half a minute.
Welcome back to Hobbs Eagle action as we're at Ralph Tasker Arena. And we're in the 5th place game between the Eagles and the Cleveland Storm. Getting back into the action will be Ty Friend to give you all the play-by-play.
So 5-point deficit for the Eagles here in the 5th place game. 3:49 remaining. Hobbs 4 of 7 from the line for 57%, and Cleveland 11 of 22 for 50%. Hobbs with the full court pressure, man-to-man. High inbound to the near side, pulled down by Trujillo. Lost the ball, though, taken away by Chisholm. That's a 12th turnover. Over to Hodge on the right wing for three. Off the side of the rim, no good. Mackey rebound left block. Fade away on the block left side and is knocked to the floor. Ball sailed up in the air, but he will get 2 free throws. That's the 8th rebound for Mackey. 18 points, so he's just 2 boards away from a double-double tonight. And you'll get those 2 free throws. 2 for 3 from the charity stripe. We mentioned Hobbs 4 of 7 from the line for 57%.
Yeah, they definitely want to get into the the bonus. They got 1 foul away to do that. Right now they're still in 1-1, but you know what? They want to get Mackey on the line because he is shooting lights out right now from that charity stripe.
19 now as he makes his first free throw. That was the 19th foul on Cleveland. Double checking who see they got that call. That was against Stutfeld, his second. So 1 more for Mackey here. Free throws up and a swish for him. He's got 20 points now. 20 points and 8 rebounds. 3-point lead for Cleveland, though, with 3:38 remaining. Inbound to Albrecht on the near side. Taking on Hodge down the lane. Flicks it to the left corner and then put back up top to Padilla, but stolen momentarily. But then still getting the ball recovered and shooting down the lane. Padilla on the runner shot. Almost got blocked by Chisholm, but Padilla now with 14. 52-47. Storm with 3:14 remaining. 5-point lead. The pass in the lane. Costa with a lefty shot put over the rim and scores. Costa now at 4 points. A 3-point lead for Cleveland. Long pass to the other end. Stutfeld lost the ball on the baseline. Taken by Mackey for turnover number 13. Mackey tries to unload to the far sideline and gets the ball tipped out. Chasing it was Trujillo. Ran up into the stands for a second on the far sideline front court, but the Eagles would get it back. Luckily, dodging a bullet on the turnover there.
Yeah, Trujillo was trying to get the ball back. Instead, it just fell off. It hit his hand and went out of bounds.
Substitution checks in for Cleveland. That's Elijah McNeil as he comes in for Stutfeld. Inbounding is Mackey in front of the scores table on the far right sideline front court. Inbound to Pena with 2:58 remaining, down by 3. To the right wing, getting a screen from Chisholm. Fires a 3 off the back of the rim. And then a big rip on the rebound. A body foul they're going to call from behind Chisholm. High up in the air that time was McNeil, and he came down on his back. So Chisholm for the body. That's his second. Hobbs Eagle fans booing that call. 12th team foul against the Eagles. And the big kid's going to step up to the other end for free throws. McNeil is 1 of 4 from the charity stripe for 25%.
Yeah, 2:51, and the Cleveland Storm are definitely in the bonus for the rest of the game.
3-point lead for Cleveland, 52-49. First shot's a swish for McNeil. He's got 8 points. You'll get 1 more here. Extends the lead to 4, 53-49. Second shot is up, and it is good. He's got both of them. 9 points for McNeil. It's a 5-point Eagle deficit with 2:45 remaining here in the fourth. Hodge cross court right to left, brings it across to Pena. Tries to get it to Mackey up top and overthrows him on the turnover. That's going to be the 18th of the game. They get it down low to Albrecht. He gets it rejected. Hodge trying to get it back and taken down by Pena, who gets up in and knocked to the floor on the far sideline. It looks like a foul call on Cleveland.
It definitely will be.
That'll be a bonus situation. Should be double bonus now for Hobbs. Both teams should be in the doubles. As they get the foul on the Storm, that one will be charged to Stutfeld, his third. Again, the 10th team foul, so that puts Pena on the line. Pena this game has shot 2 for 4 for 50%, has 9 points. So he's trying to get himself to double digits here. You have 2 shots to do that. And makes the first one. Now 10 points for Pena. Now 54-50, a 4-point Cleveland lead. Substitution for the Storm coming in is Josiah Ortiz. He had 4 fouls, so was sitting a little bit there in the fourth.
Of course, knowing this would be a tight game, free throws will matter.
Pena's second free throw at the front of the rim as you say that. Rebound in the left block by McNeil, his first rebound. Outlet to the timeline of Padilla. Stop and go dribble. Hands off to Albrecht as he comes across. Slings it right to Trujillo. Up top to Padilla. Fires a shot from the right block. A fadeaway off the back of the rim. No good. Long rebound for Hodge in transition. Bounce pass down the lane to Acosta. He tries to pivot his strip. They call the foul. No, a jump. Official had his fist up in the air, thought it was a foul, and then he changed it to a jump ball. And unfortunately, the arrow going to Cleveland, so that will be a Hobbs Eagle turnover, their 19th.
Exactly.
4-point Cleveland lead with 2:10 left here in the fourth. Inbound comes the deep left corner of the backcourt to Trujillo. Spin move taken on Pena, beats him through the timeline. Down the lane, lost the ball, dumps it on the baseline to Ortiz. Shot from the right block, no good. Rebound for Acosta, and Ortiz slams Acosta for the foul. That's the second rebound for Brian Acosta. And that'll be the foul on Ortiz. He just barely got off the bench in foul trouble. That's his 5th. And that will be him exiting with 7 points. 2 for 2 on the line and a tray. No rebounds for Ortiz. Coach Jimenez having some words for the referee on that one, but that's going to send Acosta to the other end for the double bonus. He's yet to shoot a free throw in the game. Very important throws here late in the contest, down by 4 with just 1:59 remaining. Acosta shooting 66% this season from the charity stripe. First attempt in this game. Shots up, hard off the back of the rim, no good. He will get one more. Brian Acosta in the tournament from the free throw line was 0 for 1 prior to this game.
And he's not improving his numbers so far. 2 minutes left, with just under 2 minutes left for Hobbs to get back into this game.
Does have 4 points. Shot is up and a swish for Acosta. He's got 5 now. 54-51, Cleveland by 3 with 1:59 remaining. Inbounding on the right baseline, Padilla running up and down the base. Throws a high one to the timeline, brought down by Trujillo against Mackey, and then they say Mackey hooked him. Called a foul on Michael Mackey. That'll be his 4th and the 13th team foul. Still a double bonus for Cleveland, which will send Trujillo to the line. He's only been there once so far, went 0 for 1 for the charity stripe, has 6 points, hasn't scored yet here in the second half. And Trujillo came into this ball game here in the tournament averaging 7.5 points, so he's just about 1.5 points underneath that right now. First shot's in and out, no good. So the lead remains at 3 for Cleveland. If you were just with us now, you did get a chance to catch a game before this. The Hobbs Lady Eagles unfortunately losing in their tournament championship tonight to Laredo United, Texas. 6A school out of the central part of the state. Second shot up and good for Trujillo. He's got 7. Time out on the court for Cleveland. 1:57 left here in the fourth. 5th place trophy on the line here at the Hobbs Holiday Tournament. Cleveland leading the Eagles 55-51. We'll take a 30-second break and come back with more Hobbs Eagle action on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube. To the double bonus late here in the fourth quarter. 1:57 left, 5th place game of the Hobbs Holiday Tournament at Tasker Arena. Cleveland leads 55-51 over the Eagles. Hobbs shooting 8 of 13 from the charity stripe, and for Cleveland 11 of 22. Inbound to Mackey in the backcourt, sends it over to Pena far side right, returns to Mackey, still backside. Pivots at the timeline and returns to Pena across the time stripe. Del Costa right elbow, backdoor, shot from the right block. Chisholm out the back of the rim, no good. Gets his own rebound, can't get the drop on the left block. Diving on the floor for it and then getting fouled. Both players hitting the hardwood as it was in the hands of Studfelt. That's his 7th rebound. Mackey kind of wrapped around the neck and brought him to the floor, so Mackey picks up his 5th. The fans are not liking the call. They thought just both bodies crashed. Mackey will finish the game with 20 points, 8 rebounds, And also on the line 5 times tonight, converting 4 of 5 for 80%. So a good game from Michael Mackey. Quiet game last night, but came back big in this one. But very close one to the end here by a 4-point lead for Cleveland.
Oh, I'm loving the fact that both sides are giving some good sportsmanship, showing each other some kindness as this game goes along.
The free throw off the back of the rim for Studfeld. He's 0 for 3 from the charity stripe. Second shot is up, and it is hard. Oh, it didn't even hit the rim. It hit the glass on the left side. He had a weird wicked reverse spin on the first one that made it go backward, and that one would just hit the bottom of the backboard. So some major problems on the free throw line for Studfeld, 0 for 4. Helps the Eagles' cause, who still trail by 4, though, as a quick inbound comes into Braylon Vega. Over to Hodge on the far side. He gets a trouble trap. Gets it across to Pena, who gets bodied to the floor just across the timeline. He was trying to flick it over his head back door, but got fouled first. Not a smart foul for Cleveland. They only lead by 4 as the foul will be charged to McNeil. That's his 3rd personal 11-team foul. Double bonus for Hobbs. That puts Pena on the line. He is 3 of 6 for 50% and 10 points.
Yeah, Cleveland's woes at the free throw line may bat him in the, may just hurt him in the end.
Free throw no good for Pena. Hits off the front of the rim. He's gone 1 for 4 here in the 4th quarter. It was 2 for 3 prior to that. Still a 4-point lead for Cleveland with 1:32 remaining, 55-51 here in the 4th. Second shot for Pena is in and out, no good. Missed them both. Long rebound on the far sideline for Trujillo, his 5th. Throws it ahead to a breaking Sandoval. Lost the ball, stolen from behind by Vega, but then stolen right back by Cleveland in the deep right corner. We got bodies all over the place. Got a whistle. I think there was a timeout. I guess Cleveland got control of it, and Coach Jimenez ran over there to get the timeout before the ball coughed up there, or maybe a jump. But Cleveland will retain possession. Hobbs fans want to get trapped. We'll keep it right here, 55-51. The game getting kind of sloppy in this late part, Ron. A lot of fouls and free throws, but a lot of missed free throws for both teams.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, too. Sometimes they just play for the fouls instead of playing for the shots, and that seems to be the case, and especially when it's on the front end of Cleveland Storm. It seems like there's a lot more action going on, a lot of ugly action, that is, and we need to clean that up, get it better. We only got a 4-point difference in this game. We could come back definitely, whether it be with a drive in the lane and a foul or just a 3-point shot. However you want to do it, we can still do it. We still have plenty of time, and the players we have experience enough to do that as well.
Leading scorers in the game, although he did foul out, Michael Mackey with 20 points, 8 rebounds. Abraham Pena with 10 points, his 2nd leading scorer. Then you got Peyton Hodge coming off the bench for 7. For the Cleveland Storm, the leader, well, actually 2 players tied with 14, Noah Padilla and Remy Albrecht. So both of them with 14, combining for 28 of the Cleveland Storm's 55 points. So they've got more than half right now of their overall total. Cleveland's going to try to beat the press of the Eagles, sort up the, or actually no, they're in the front court, what am I saying? Give it up to Albrecht, left wing. In the half-court offense, taking on Hodge as he backs it out to the timeline. Coming back to get it is Padilla. Pass to the near sideline of Sandoval, spin move. Sends it off to the left wing to Padilla. Back deep to Albrecht in front of the scores table left. Comes down the lane, tries a scoop pass. They call a push foul in the paint. So no chance for a shot down the lane, but a foul on the Eagles. Stops the clock with 1:04 remaining. And that'll be the foul called on Chisholm, his 3rd, 14th team foul. And on the line will be Albrecht. He's been on the line quite a bit tonight.
Sure
11 times, and has made 8 of 11, or make it 7 of 11. And misses that one off the right rim, no good.
7 of 12 now.
He's got 14 points, though, to help out the Storm cause, but there's still a 4-point lead. Second shot, bouncing around the rim, it's no good as well. Pulled down by Peyton Hodge, his 3rd rebound. Bounce pass in the front court, knocked away by Albrecht to the far right sideline. Intended for Pena, but it will be Hobbs basketball. Under a minute left, 59.7 to be exact. 55-51, Cleveland over the Eagles by 4. Hodge to inbound. Bounce pass to the timeline to Pena. He'll come right with the dribble, gives it up top. 3 on the way for Vega, and it's an air ball. It's going to run on the baseline. Vega just checked in, got knocked to the floor after the shot.
Back on his Hobbs.
Yeah, he was. Oh, they're going to say it was a touch. Yeah, Coach Reeves might have said something about it. They're going to give it to the Eagles on the left baseline underneath their hoop. So dodging a bullet there. Hobbs get another chance to score. Down by 4, 51.4 left. Vega's going to be the inbound man. Throws a high one into Acosta. Hands off to Vega. Right wing for 3. Fade away off the back of the rim. Vega gets his own rebound. Top of the arc. His third. Kicks right to Hodge for 3. It's off the side of the iron. And Albrecht comes down with it in the left corner for the Storm with 2 rebounds. Sends it ahead to a breaking Padilla. Tries to go up with the lefty layup. It's rejected. And it goes off his hands out of bounds. Was blocked too by Vega, but then also hits Padilla. And Coach Jimenez mad at Padilla. Thought he should have just taken it out and run some clock there. Eagles inbound to Hodge on the far sideline in the backcourt. Bounce pass back deep to Payne with 30 seconds. Again to Hodge on the right sideline. He'll take a dribble across the time stripe, bounce it up top to Acosta, and Coach Reed's got to call a timeout to get the clock stopped. Hobbs in a 2-possession game here and a lot of perimeter passing near the timeline. Going to cause some issues with not enough time to get 2 possessions in here.
Exactly. There was not enough urgency on the Hobbs Eagles to get the ball down the court, be able to make a shot. It doesn't have to be a 3 right now, but it will be soon if they keep that up because they just needed 2 points to get back into it. And since Cleveland's been on the line, they have not been shooting very well at all. It kind of reminds me of the Rio Rancho game just this season where the same thing was happening where, it looked like the Eagles could actually lose the game, but Rio Rancho was terrible on the line. And so it gave that victory to the Eagles, hoping for the same thing. But so far, both sides have not been able to hit anything in the last couple of minutes, and that has proven costly for the Eagles.
Earlier tonight, the Hobbs Lady Eagles lost the tournament championship to United, a team out of Laredo, Texas. 68-61 the final in that one. Kendall Cunningham made the all-tournament team. He had 22 points and 11 rebounds for a double-double in that game. So pretty impressive stuff there. She had 10 points in the third quarter alone. Bryn Hargo finished with 13. She made the all-tournament team. Brett Clay with 12 points and 9 rebounds, almost a double-double. And she was perfect in the free throw department with 10 for 10 free throw shooting. Excellent job there. And Jayla David with 11. With all those people in double figures, hard to believe they lost by 7. Took second in the championship game. The deflected pass to Payne at the timeline after the Eagle timeout, down by 4 up top to Vega. Fires up a 3 off the back of the rim. Chased down in the left wing by Padilla for Cleveland, his 7th rebound. And he tries to dribble from the pressure and gets fouled in the lane. Clock stop with 15.2 remaining. Of course, the Eagles have already put the Cleveland Storm in double bonus earlier in this game. That's the 4th foul on Chisholm. And that will send Padilla to the line. He's only been on the line once, went 0 for 1, and has 14 points. So going to try to put the icing on the cake here with a 4-point lead over the Eagles. And this is in and out, so Cleveland not doing themselves any justice here to try to seal this game. You'll get one more, though. 15.2 seconds remaining. Hobbs down by 4, 55-51 to Cleveland. Second shot is a swish for Padilla. He's got 15. Inbound to Hodge on the far side, 56-51 up top to Acosta. Down to the right corner to Pena with a 3 on the way and a swish. Timeout called for the Eagles. Important big shot there for Pena. Ice in his veins. Hobbs down by 2. That was the second tray of the game for Pena. 13 for him, and a 2-point ball game. This ain't over yet. The Hobbs Eagle press is just ready to go. You can imagine that.
I know, but they're going to have to foul quickly and hope that they get somebody who is once again having a terrible time on the line as they still have a chance left, a pulse, a heartbeat, whatever you want to call it, and they could pull this out or at the very least get a tie going on and go into overtime.
Of course, don't necessarily need to foul quickly. I mean, you got to wait to see how the ball's coming in, but try to get a 5-second count there, and if you do have to foul as it comes in, that's another story. But 56-54 after a big 3 for Pena in the deep right corner to get it to a 2-point deficit. Don't forget again, next week we got the tournament action in Albuquerque, the Metro Albuquerque tournament. Hobbs boys will play Tuesday against West Mesa. 5:15 pregame show, the tip-off at 5:30. Lots of teams there at the Metro tournament. Albuquerque High, Rio Rancho, La Cueva, El Dorado, Del Norte, Cleveland, Hope, Highland, Manzano, Altrisco Heritage, Santa Fe, Cibola, and Sandia.
We hold the record 4-1 over West Mesa going back to 1970 with the first game.
West Mesa in the top 10 in the Max Preps poll this week. 6.7 seconds remaining. Full court pressure defense for the Eagles. They're going to go with the touchdown throw to the other end. There's a push down the lane as a drive going to the hole by Nick Trujillo and a desperation shove by Pena. Of course, Cleveland known for its football quite a bit, and they do with a Super Bowl throw there as Pena picks up his second. Double bonus for Nick Trujillo. He's 1 of 3 from the line. 2-point ball game here. It's a very critical double bonus for Trujillo.
Plus, no time went off on the clock.
5.4 seconds remaining, 56-54 Cleveland. Over the Hobbs Eagles for 5th place here at the Hobbs All-Day Tournament. First shot is up, and it's off the back of the rim, no good. So Hobbs can tie it up here. If he makes a free throw, it'll just be a 3-point game. Hobbs have to heave a 3-point shot. They have 5.4 seconds, enough to dribble up a little bit, though.
Exactly, but it's still going to be tight.
Second shot is good. 8 points for Trujillo. It's 57-54. 5 seconds remaining. Hodge will dribble across the timeline. Crossover. He'll shoot a 3 from the top of the arc. Off the back of the rim. No good. That will be the ball game. It looked like it came off the glass, hit the back of the rim, and comes off. No good. The Hobbs Eagles lose the 5th place game. 57-54 to Cleveland. But boy, good opportunity there to try to tie it up for Hodge.
It was never boring. The game was never boring, and that's the one good thing I can say about that.
Of course, the Eagles played some exciting games. They took on Oregon Mountain, who was the tournament champion. That was a 3-point game, won by 10 yesterday over Ferris High School out of Texas, and this game a 3-point heartbreaking loss to Cleveland. We'll take a 3-minute break, come back with the Hobbs Eagle postgame show on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube. Welcome back to Task Arena, the Hobbs Eagle postgame show here at the Hobbs Holiday Tournament, the 63rd annual. Eagles losing tonight in the fifth place game to Cleveland, 57-54. The Eagles will drop to 6-5 on the season, +1 in terms of the record, and Cleveland improves to 9-2. Ron, this game pretty close throughout. Of course, in the first quarter, Hobbs was up 14-12, led at halftime 28-24. So they outscored them 14-12 in the second. It was 39-38 in the third after the Eagles with 11 points and 14 for Cleveland in the third quarter. And, of course, the final margin, not a lot of points that produced in this game. Cleveland got 19 in the fourth quarter, and the Hobbs Eagles finished with 15. So that pretty much wraps it up there. But a lot more free throw opportunities for Cleveland. They were 16 of 34 for 47%. They were under 50% shooting there on the line. That kind of cost them late in this game, and they probably should have a better extended lead than that. But a lot of misses late. Eagles only had 15 opportunities to shoot free throws, got 8 of those for 53%. So a few more could have helped them somewhat. But I think Cleveland almost cost themselves a fifth-place trophy with the poor free throw shooting.
Exactly. We were talking about that during the game, too, as far as it looked like they just missed, especially in the fourth quarter. No reason to miss in the fourth quarter, especially with the game on the line. Again, though, they got lucky. Hobbs was having some bad shots. They weren't getting enough foul calls, and so they weren't going to the line enough. I think if they did, especially if Mackey would have been there, he would have been able to bring them back to a little bit closer. But still, plenty of opportunities for Hobbs. They just weren't able to take advantage of them and end up falling short to this Cleveland Storm team who just had enough grit and guts and determination to get the victory.
Yeah, very similar to the game that we saw against Oregon Mountain in the first game of the tournament on Wednesday. Hobbs losing by 3 in that one, too. And very similar nuances that we saw with this game. Chances to win, take leads, free throw shooting, and again, that kind of sealed the fate here. Cleveland's top scorer tonight was Noah Padilla, finishing with 15 points, 7 rebounds. He was also 1 of 3 from the line and hit 2 trays for the cause. Right behind him, Remy Albrecht. He had 14 points in the game. He had a couple of trays as well and a lot of free throw opportunities. He was 8 of 14 in the ball game and also had 2 rebounds. That was the 2 in double digits, so we had Padilla and Albrecht with 29 of the total 57 points. So they had more than half of the production for the Cleveland High Storm in this one. Elijah McNeil coming off the bench for 9 points and 1 rebound. He was 3 of 6 on the charity stripe for 50%. Nick Trujillo with 8 points in the game. He was 2 of 5 from the line and had 5 rebounds. Other scores in this one, Josiah Ortiz, a sub off the bench, 7 points, 2 for 2 on the line and a tray. And finally, last but not least, 2 points for Stratton Studfeld. He was 0 for 4 from the line, but did have 7 rebounds. And a couple other scores, too. Malachi Hermilio with 2 points and Daniel Masterson with 2 and 2 rebounds. So quite a few guys getting in the books in this one, 8 total for Cleveland. They were 16 of 34 from the free throw line for 47%. They did get out rebounded by the Eagles, 25-27, but their top rebounder, Noah Padilla, and Stratton Studfeld, both getting 7 apiece. Nick Trujillo finishing with 5 on the boards. And they had 6 less turnovers than the Eagles with 14 compared to 20. On the Eagles side of the coin, 2 in double figures. Michael Mackey fouled out of the game midway through the fourth. He had 20 points and also 8 rebounds, so getting close to a double-double in the game. Finished up in terms of free throws, 3 of 5 from the charity stripe. His most productive quarter was the third, where he had 8 points in the game. Abraham Pena finishing with 13 points and 1 rebound. He was on the line 7 times and converted 2 of those in the contest. Actually, he was 3 of 8 on the line for the Eagles. So those 2 in double figures, 33 of the total points the Eagles get tonight out of the, 54. So 33 out of 54, again, more than half of the total offensive production. Peyton Hodge coming off the bench for second time in a row. He had 7 points, including 1 tray and 3 rebounds. Brian Acosta with 5 points, went 1 of 2 from the line and had 2 rebounds. Jordan Chisholm and Jairus Turbiatis both getting a bucket for the Eagles for 2 points. Braylon Vega, the freshman, hit a tray for 3, and Devon Marquez hit a bucket for 2. Eagles with 8 scores in the books. They went 8 of 15 from the line for 53%. Again, they got the rebounding numbers over Cleveland, 27-25. Top boardman was Michael Mackey with 8, and Caden Hall finishing with 6 before fouling out in the fourth quarter. Hobbs with 20 turnovers, 14 for the Cleveland Storm. So the Eagles with the loss dropped to 6-5 on the season, and the Cleveland Storm improved to 9-2. And again, this is back-to-back tournaments, Hobbs, with this one taking 6th place tonight. Next week they're at the APS Metro Tournament with a ton of teams going to be a part of the action there. 16 total teams. Hobbs part of the mix. They're the one team that comes out of the outside of the Albuquerque metro area. Thought there were supposed to be 2 teams, but I thought Gallup was going to be in this one. This looks like the Hobbs is the only team outside of either Albuquerque or Rio Rancho, because Cleveland and Rio Rancho are both at this tournament as well.
And it's pretty close to being, you can pretty much call them a home field advantage for any of the Albuquerque teams. So the only one with the disadvantage as far as travel will be the Hobbs Eagles.
Yeah, we're talking Volcano Vista, Albuquerque High, Rio Rancho, La Cueva, West Mesa, El Dorado, Del Norte, Cleveland, Hope, Highland, Manzano, Atrisco Heritage, Santa Fe, Cibola, and Sandia. So I guess you could count Santa Fe outside the metro. That would be the extra team there. But the game for the Eagles will be Tuesday night. West Mesa, team that's in the top 10 right now for the Max Peps poll, and they just had a player get the career all-time scoring record there on the team this year. So we'll get his numbers updated here as soon as we can, but he's definitely a threat for West Mesa. Hobbs plays him Tuesday at 5:30. We'll have the pregame show at 5:15 right here on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube. If the Eagles win, they'll play at 7:15 on Wednesday, and that will be against the winner of the El Dorado Del Norte game. If the Hobbs Eagles lose, they'll play the loser of that game. So and that would be a 5:30 game on Wednesday, a little bit earlier than if they get in the winner's bracket. So again, they'll have a game a day. There'll be two games, one on Tuesday, one on Wednesday. They'll have Thursday off, and then come back for a game Friday and Saturday, no matter if they win or lose.
Exactly, and it's going to be one of those things that, at the very least, they may not be able to play their best, but they're going to learn a lot. One of the things that I hope that we see out there is going to be Van Landingham. Hopefully he's going to be back, because I think he's a key. He doesn't score any or much at all, but what he does is his presence makes a difference in the defense, and it disrupts the offensive teams enough to where they don't score as much, and I think Hobbs can take advantage of that.
It has been good to see some players returning during the tournament here. Jordan Chisholm, for example, Peyton Hodge, both been in uniform the last couple of games. I'm not sure what the status is on Omar Argot. He's been out for about a week so far, but definitely would like to get him back as quick as possible, too. And, of course, you mentioned Ethan Van Landingham with the shoulder injury last night, so hoping he has a quick recovery. Well, that just about does it for the Hobbs Holiday Tournament for the Hobbs Eagles. Final score in this one, 57-54. Cleveland with 5th place, the Eagles 6th. Hobbs Lady Eagles taking 2nd, losing tonight to United High School out of Laredo, Texas, 68-61. So the 63rd annual boys tournament comes to a close. The 5th annual Hobbs girls tournament comes to a close as well. But just a reminder again, next week we will be on the road in Albuquerque. Tuesday night, 5:15, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and, of course, Cool 95.7. I'd like to thank Jessica and Allison Friend on the scoring, Tiffany Stuber back at the station, myself and Ron Gunner. But before we leave, we're going to thank our sponsors of this Hobbs Holiday Tournament with our various different sources on the radio and the internet.
Exactly. We're going to thank them very well. It's going to be Lee County State Bank along with Hobbs Rental, Forest Tire, Hobbs Express, Robinson & Associates, Thriftway, First American Bank, Lasco, Eunice Pump and Supply, along with NMR Pipeline, Rent-A-Center, and Devon Energy. We're all wishing you a very happy new year, as tomorrow's New Year's Eve.
And again, we'll see you on Tuesday night in Albuquerque. Have a great weekend out there.